and settle onto your back. So this week we've been doing a lot of figure fours in our supine position on our backs. So we're going to continue on with that, and we are going to do a few standing poses. So I do want you to have your block because we're going to do a couple of revolved triangles, and I just want that block for you to have some balance. So settling onto your back. Taking a moment to scan your body. Noticing just what's asking for your attention. We tend to just keep pushing, keep doing more. So this hour is your opportunity to settle in to this moment, listening to those whispers. Listening to the whispers of your body, identifying areas of tightness, of tension, of restriction, of gripping. And with your out breath, softening just a little bit more onto your mat. Maybe you notice that your breath, maybe you're just inviting it to that front. Invite that breath deep into your body. Nourishing, rejuvenating, and then with that out breath, cleansing. So our theme for October has been releasing, letting go. So in this moment, what thoughts can you let go of? What feelings can you let go of? What gripping or holding can you let go? So walk your feet just towards your bottom so that your knees are bent. And I want you to feel the sensation of your pelvis, your low back, heavy on your mat, heavy on the floor. So it might even be just a little more effective actually if we go into right now just a supported bridge pose. So grab your bolster because it's softer and it's just nicer on your back. Gently lift your hips up and then settle the hips, settle the pelvis to that bolster, to the block, or sorry, bolster, because I don't want to say block, because the block doesn't feel as good. And with each breath out, let the pelvis just get heavier. So oftentimes when we're in a forward fold, I cue you to let go of that folding in the low back. So obviously our low back muscles work very hard to hold us upright. So this is your opportunity to replenish, to restore. So we're releasing what no longer serves, bringing ourselves back to homeostasis, balance, equanimity, and quiet. Invite that breath all the way down to the base of your pelvis. Having that awareness of the pelvic floor, of the bottom of your pelvis. So we want to think about relaxing. Now draw that left knee up, that right knee. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Let's have those palms facing up. Point and flex the feet. Just helping that circulation come back to our torso. Maybe circle the ankles. And then find just stillness. So there's a Chinese proverb, and it is, in stillness and silence, we heal. Now hugging your knees towards your chest. And again, noticing that low. So maybe readjust. And we're just doing a gentle stretch for that in the back. And I want you to gently press the tailbone into your bolster. And exhale. Press your low back towards that bolster. Now the tailbone. Inhale. And exhale. So we get that nice, gentle, isometric contraction. And release. So settling for a moment. So take a moment, setting an intention for your practice today. Being intentional with our breath, with our movement. So the very first thing that just popped into your mind of your intention. And I want you to just make an effort to be compassionate. So when you need to take a little pause, please take that pause. So we're going to extend that right leg out over the mat. Maybe that right heel hovers. Maybe your right heel touches the floor. Opening up and stretching out in front of this right. Again, breath is soft and steady. Switching sides. Right knee draws in, that left leg opens. Thank you. Thank you. Switching sides. Now again, that right knee. And switching right knee comes in. Left forward. Suck the shoulders. Drawing the knee in. Now releasing your feet to the floor, lifting your hips up, just coming into this active bridge. Press down through the heels, press down through the balls of the feet. And then slide that bolster out, standing in that bridge, arms along by your sides, lower down, so that when you lower down, you create a little more length in that low back, along your spine. Taking your arms out to the sides, and just this nice, gentle windshield wiper. And then bring it back to neutral. We're gonna bring this left ankle to that right knee, drawing it in and circling so that we get into the hip joints of both hips, actually. Circling one way and then circle the other. And I want you to imagine for the next few poses that this left ankle is glued to that right knee. Now landing that right foot, just a small little windshield wiper right here. And then, if you would like to take your bolster over to your right side, we're gonna let this left foot settle over to the right side. So maybe you want it to settle on the bolster. Maybe that foot settles to the floor. Left arm reaches up over the head. You can extend the right arm out to the side, or maybe play with extending that right arm up also. And with each breath out, soften the shoulders back to the nose. Savoring just this stillness. Savoring each breath. Now extend the arms up. And I want you to open those arms out to the side in that T. Lift your legs to center, maybe a little rock. And then we're gonna let this left thigh land to the left side. Extend your right arm up over the head. That left ankle, very much just drawing that right knee down towards the floor, but very gently. So now you're gonna feel this stretch in the front of your right hip. Breathe and let that right shoulder soften closer to the floor. Breathing deeper, breathing slower. Just taking this opportunity, in a sense, to down-regulate our nervous system. It's like everybody's jacked up on caffeine. again, just that nice, gentle movement. Now release that left leg. I want you to extend your feet up towards the ceiling. If you have that range to grasp your toes, go for it. And I want you to gently press your tailbone into the mat. Maybe there's a slight bend in your knees, and you're feeling a really nice stretch in the back of the legs. So when we do our poses, and I've said this to you before, on our back like this, we're not sort of contorting our body, or our spine is nice and long, and it just keeps this stretch so that it's in the hamstrings, and yes, you're going to feel it in your back, but we have that long spine, and we're not compromising. So take a breath, and I want you to land the back of your ribs deeper into your nose. Breathe and land your shoulders back to the mat. Breathe and soften this body just a little bit more. Softening and slowing that monkey. Trusting your strength. Trusting. Now release those legs, just doing whatever your body is asking for in this moment. Before we land this left foot, and then we're going to bring that right ankle over top, and this is where we're going to come into that gentle hip circle move. Land your left foot, and if you would like to take that bolster over to this left side so that you can land that right foot, go for it. Or that right foot settles to the floor. And just remember, we want to try and keep the ankle connected to that knee. Extend your arms straight up and over. Breathing out, softening that upper body back to the mat. Trusting your strength. Trusting your life. Trusting yourself. Now lift those knees, once again finding center. Take this little rock. Now this right thigh settles towards the floor. So again, you have the option, if you need to bring that floor closer to you, then grab your block or your bolster. Extending that left arm up over the head. So we're opening up this torso, we're opening up and lengthening that diaphragm. So when we take more time, we give ourselves more breath. Getting into the hip joint itself, the knee joint. Soften the shoulders. Bringing it back to center. Again, that little rock, that little roll. Hugging your knees into your chest. Let's take those legs, the knees directly over the hips, and we're going to do sort of a knee knock and then this toe tap. So we're gently pressing the knees together, tapping the toes. And then again, just releasing that. We're gonna rock and roll forward and back, rolling out, and just relaxing that low back a little bit more. And one more, coming to sit. So let's just move into a couple of twists. So for this morning, I want us to have a straight bottom leg. So left leg is straight. If you're rounding back at all, I want you to roll up the back of your mat so that your hips are up a little bit higher. We are normally very tight here, so lifting that up. Let's draw this right leg across so that we can work into our twist. Hug that knee in, find that long, tall spine. Giving our lungs just that space to gently expand. Inhale, see if you can reach the crown of your head closer to the ceiling. Settle those shoulders down. So noticing the difference when we can ground the pelvis, reach the crown, feeling that length in your spine. And everybody take another breath in for me. Soften those shoulders a little more. Awesome. Hug the knee. We're going to look over our right shoulder. So notice, for me, when I look over the right, it feels better for me to hug the knee, but when I go left, it feels better for me to press my left elbow into the knee. So play with that and make it yours. Making sure that you're not leaning into that back right hand, just using it just as a little pivot. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale. Breathing into this rotation. Holding a little longer. Bringing your gaze forward, reaching your arms up. I want you to land your hands just to the side. We're going to swing this underneath, but we're not going to stay there. So lifting your bottom, pressing up, you're going to find your pyramid here. And as we find our pyramid, gently pressing. So we're lengthening out over this right leg. Okay. Ray's looking at me. What the? Release the crown of the head. Let's walk our hands away from this front leg. Now we're going to walk our hands forward, and I want you to find your block. I apologize if I didn't cue that better. Find your block. And let's step this back foot in just a little bit closer, but maybe take your feet a little bit wider. So we're going to bring our hands onto our hips so that we're in this triangle position. Lifting up, draw the front of your pelvis in and up, reaching our arms up. Feel the feet connecting. So maybe you need a little micro bend in the knees. So do that. And we're gonna land our hands on our block. I want you to think about reaching the crown of the head. I just wanna make sure everybody's in the proper position. So when you're in this position, let everybody bring your hand to your right butt. And I want you to press that sit bone into your hand. So you still have that length through the spine. And I want you to notice if you're rounding this spine. So reach the crown of your head to the top of your mat. So as much as you can, find length. So we're going to play with this, and we're going to move through our cat pose. So draw the navel center in, tuck your chin, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, looking forward. So you're lifting the sit bone up behind you, looking up. Exhale, draw the belly button in. Nod the head. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, scoop your belly button. Scooping. Inhale. Lift that tailbone. Notice your connection of your feet, that foundation. So bringing it back to neutral. Now hands on your hip, lengthen that spine. Maybe you have a little bend in your knees. I'd much prefer that you did that. Lift it up, strong spine. So facing front, I want you to take your feet to the edges of your mat. So take a moment and I want you to externally rotate your toes. Lift up tall and notice how that feels on your back. So maybe walk your feet so that we're in the first position in ballet. So be second position. But noticing how that feels on your low back. So for me, it feels a little scrunchy. Things are really tight in there. All right. So I want you to just bring your toes and your knees more so that they're facing front. Notice if that frees up your back a little bit. So we're going to go wide again, but I want you to just angle your heels out a little bit, all right? So when we angle our heels out a little bit, we're creating a little bit more space in that low back. Bend your knees, and I want you to come into this hinge, grab your block, you may want it. Inhale and exhale, drape over the legs, nod that head. Unloading your low back spine. Lift your sit bone. Dangling this upper body over the legs. A little toe into the heels. Lift your sit bones. And noticing if you can just find a little more room. Bend those knees, bending your knees, halfway lift. Find that strong spine, find this strong core. Reaching it up, opening it up, releasing your arms back behind. Gently draw the shoulders towards one another. Open the front of your chest. Reaching the arms out. So we're gonna turn those toes out. I want you to have that block handy, and we're gonna settle into Malasana. So maybe you want that block. Play with this a little bit. Maybe the block needs to be higher. So again, just what you're needing. And we're gonna stay here for a moment. Lift up that chest. Breathing. Lifting up out of the pelvis. So just like IQ, in pretty much every pose, don't dump into the joints of the knees. Don't dump into your ankles. Don't dump into that pelvic floor. We want to keep reaching the crown of the head. Place your hands on the floor. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Lift that tail up. Lift that tail. Walk your feet wide. And we're just going to move from side to side. Breathe in. Land your block just in front of that right knee, and we're bent through this right knee. We're gonna lift this left arm up, and we're gonna sweep it beneath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Awesome. Come to center, just straighten. Let go of that holding the head, the neck, the shoulders. Breathing. Bend your knees, and we're just gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time. Once your head is up over your heart, take that big breath in. Awesome. So we're gonna go to this left side. So left side, maybe bring that block with you. Left side, try to have both of your knees pointing towards the front edge of your mat. Bend. You may want to bend both your knees. Sometimes what I find when we go into a side lunge, we hyperextend this long way. So a little bend, because we are working into the adductors, the inner thighs. Lift up this right arm. And release. Sweep. Inhale. Exhale. So for whatever reason, my left side feels really scrunchy. Lift it up. And sweep. Lift it up. And sweep. Awesome. Landing center. Walk your feet. Land those knees. Roll onto your bottom. So we need to keep things even. So now our right leg is long. We are nice and tall. Maybe you roll up your mat. Hug this knee. Lift it up. So making sure that you're not over here. We're pressing down through both sit bones. Close your eyes. Lifting up and out of the pelvis. Do that little scan for me. Notice where you're holding. Notice where you're gripping. Softening. So in our yoga postures, Sitra and Sukha. Balance, stability, ease. So there isn't strain and burden. Now reach this right arm up. Let's take our gaze up there. Press or hug that knee. Looking over your left shoulder. So on that back body, think about bringing your two shoulder blades towards one another. Use that back left hand just as a pivot. I don't want you sinking into it. Bringing your gaze forward. So, framing this front left leg. That is a little tricky. It's not fair. Swing your right leg, and then you're pressing up. So, we're just framing this front left leg. So just moving there, how it works best. Inhale, find some length. Exhale, drape over this leg. In our pyramid, walk your hands away from your body. Let that head be heavy. Walking your hands forward. Maybe reposition your feet because I want you to feel very grounded. Bringing your hands to your hips. Again, you can bend into the knees, keep the spine long. Lifting it up so that we have that strong glute muscle. Inhale, reaching it up. And we're going to take our hands back to our block. So you probably want it on its high setting. Reposition, because this is where we're going to move through our cat and cow, but I first want you to find and keep this long spine. This is our neutral position. So if you're rounding that upper back, think about pressing the crown of your head forward. Maybe bend those knees a little bit, because I don't want you stretching the spine to get into this. I want you to bend your knees, have that long spine. The front of the body is supporting the low back spine. Now, moving through that cat. So tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift your tailbone, look forward. Feeling just a nice stretch in that left hamstring. Exhale. Looking forward, lift the tailbone. Don't let that front knee collapse to center. Exhale, rounding. Actively stretching the spinal erector muscles. Inhale, just bring it back to neutral position. So neutral position, the front of the body supporting the back of the body. Bring this left hand to your left sacrum. Let's come into a little bit of rotation. It's not a huge rotation, and I'd much rather we kept that hand on the hip so we get this rotation in the spine. Oftentimes when we come into a roll-off position, people do really weird things with their hands trying to get into this. So to get into it, I want you to actively press into that right arm. Find that movement. And then releasing that hand. Hands to your hips, bend your knees, please. Lift it up strong. Awesome. And you're going to feel your glutes like we did some. So find a standing position. Shake it out a little bit for me. Take a moment, maybe rock forward and back, lifting it up tall. Again, noticing, and as you move through your day, notice if you feel yourself sinking to the floor. Think about people as they age, right? So we want to lift up, we want to keep this fascia healthy and strong. We want to do that cat stretch in the morning, opening ourselves up, because how many of us sleep like this? Right? So over time, we keep rounding. So with our yoga practice, we want to open up. We want to get taller because we can. Reaching it up. Exhale, flow forward. Little vinyasa here. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale. Inhale. Opening it up. I want lots of breath. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, flow all the way up. Exhale, flow all the way forward. So moving this body. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale. Inhale. This isn't happy hips, but it's just happy breath. Exhale. Hands to the floor. We're gonna walk, step, just make our way to our downward facing dog. Breathe in. Again, just that little reminder. Down dog. Supra and Sukha. That balance, that ease, that steadiness within our pose. Land your knees, land those hips back towards your heels, and we're going to walk our hands as far as we can over to this left side. Breathing into your right side body. Lifting it up, walking as far as you can over to the right. Feel that stretch from that left pinky finger to that left side waist. Left. Breathe and let that chest melt towards the floor. Lifting it up. So let's find our way to a modified plank with knees on the floor or full plank, releasing to the mat. So gently, just rock a little bit. We're going to flow up into Sphinx, lifting the crown of the head. Breathing and opening this heart space. Again, that cue to find length in your spine. Lowering it down. Slide your hands back beneath your shoulders if that feels good for you. If not, flow back into Sphinx. So again, this is your practice where you need to be in this moment. So either in this Sphinx or your Cobra. Settle your shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen, lower. So stack those hands. We're going to bring this right knee out to the side in a one-sided frog. If it's your practice and you want to do a full frog, so full frog would be here. Breathing, really, really, really getting into those adductors. So again, where you need to be this morning. Sliding that right knee to, or right leg to the left. Again, take a little rock. Now you're going to slide that left leg out to the side. So when you're in your one-sided frog, flex that foot, breathe, and see if you can settle and relax both hips, both glute muscles. All the glute muscles, I should say. Breathing. And imagine that your pelvis is just sinking, it's melting to the floor. It's melting to the mat. So again, just that little reminder. Just when we did that scan, that body scan at the beginning of our class, where is there holding? Slide that left leg back to the right. Let's bend our knees and that little, what I like to call Saturday morning cartoons. Let those feet fall to the side. Just rock. Again, just that nice, clean, smooth mobility in our hips. So extend this left leg. I want you to extend the left arm. And we're going to roll over to our left side. Land your head on your left arm. Slightly bend that bottom left leg. And I want you to grasp your right ankle. And we're going to come into this reclined quad stretch. This isn't actually a yoga stretch, but with all of the issues that we have in our knees, and making sure as you come into this quad stretch that you're trying to keep your knees parallel and you're trying to press that kneecap towards the bottom of your mat. If this knee is flaring up towards the ceiling, we're not getting that stretch in our quads. Take a breath and see if you can settle that shoulder, the top right shoulder. Notice if that knee starts to just sort of creep towards the ceiling. So releasing that, and you're going to roll to your right side. Let your head rest on that bottom right arm. Slightly bend that bottom right leg. Bring this left knee up towards your chest. And then press it. So we're grabbing hold of the ankle and press that knee towards the bottom of the mat. Saddle that last shoulder. Again, keep pressing into that knee. Releasing that. And then when you grab your bolster, we're going to roll onto the back. And you're going to just place that bolster beneath your shins. So I'm going to switch. So that we're in more of a restorative crocodile pose. So the shins are supported. Again, maybe rock your hips a little bit. Settle that forehead onto your hands. Settle and just let those shoulders soften towards the back. Maybe you need to gently rock the head from side to side. So you can stay in crocodile or you can transition to Shavasana on your back. But again, whatever your body is asking for, whatever you're needing in this moment, settling. Yes, put yourself some cover up. Breathing and let your feet land heavily on the ground. Feel your footprints dropping deeper and deeper into the earth. Effortless legs. Your pelvis cradled by the earth. Your back melting into the ground. Feel the ground welcoming your shoulders and your upper back. Allow the earth to receive your head completely. Welcome your breath into your body. Welcome your breath with that soft belly. Your breath caring for you as it flows in and out on its own. Let your belly soften more and drain down into your back, letting your body rest on the ground. The earth holding you. Let your breath deep into your body. The ground, Mother Earth, longs to carry you so that your breath may fill you. Deep Listening by Gillian Clancy. Slowly start to wiggle your toes. Gently, mindfully, make your way to your favorite side. As you're ready, come to your seated easy pose. Landing, grounding down once again into that pelvis. Creating that connection, creating that grounding sensation. Bringing your hands to your heart. Taking that deep, full breath in. Filling with gratitude. Thank you.